Okay, great. Thanks for showing up. I love it. Thea and Steve and Darius and Charlotte and Birgit. Birgit's in Germany. Oh, this is great. I love it. Okay. I'm going to get started here. I welcome you to re-energize your life without diet or exercise. And I'm going to give you 3 secrets specially for baby boomers. So you've got your cameras on, you're ready to go. I'm totally excited because I tell you what I want to share with you today. I've been carrying it around. It feels like for decades, like being pregnant with a message for decades. And I finally, because of the technology and my support group, I'm ready to share it. So in case you don't know, my name's Nita, and I just turned 70. Woohoo! And I'm right in the middle of the baby boomers, which is why I decided to make this talk special for baby boomers. I'm a proud mom of 5 and an experienced transformation coach. And I must confess, I am totally energized seeing you all here today. I was thinking of going into retirement, but I look around and I see our planet is in such trouble. So I thought that us boomers had better step up and help make some crucial changes. And to do that, we have to have power. Picture yourself. You're living in constant state of gratitude, appreciation, leading an energized life, enjoying harmonious relationships, travel, fulfilling work, and having healing nature outside your door. This happens to be my reality, which I call peacefully energized. I rest peacefully in my center, and I'm ready to jump into the next thing that life brings, full of power. So from this place, I look out and I see many of us disappointed, disillusioned, out of power, and dealing with energy-robbing relationships and confronted with health problems we thought were for old people. Just settling. And it really pains me to see my boomers, my fellow boomers, suffering needlessly. And they're looking in mostly the wrong places. And I know how to help. You know, we're the generation that thought we'd live forever, right? We assumed we'd remain lively and powerful without end. And we've been gifted with a lot of extra years thanks to science and medicine, like decades extra. But unfortunately, most of us are not able to enjoy them. Chances are, seeing you're here, you don't feel you have enough energy to do the things you want. Is this true for you? Yeah. You still want to go on those vacations and romp around with your grandchildren and finally pursue your hobbies and sleep peacefully at night, right? Mm-hmm. To dream, to start new things, to be loved, to fall in love, to be of service. What's something you wish you could do or continue to do if energy wasn't the issue? Pop it in the chat. Go, 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 I see. Where do you want to go, go, go to? Well, I'm here to tell you it's possible. Okay, so I let you know how my life is, right? Peacefully energized, just in a terrific place at 70. But I got to tell you that it did not used to be this way for me. My life did not used to be amazing. The beginning of my transformation happened very quietly. I'm sitting, I cry every time I remember this, sorry. I'm sitting quite depressed on my bedroom windowsill, looking out at the forest 20 some years ago, wondering, is this as good as it gets? I've got all the outward signs of success. I got the house, the kids, the cars, the clothes, but inside I'm exhausted, lonely, resentful, and guilty for not being a better mom. I'm feeling like an old woman, and I'm not even 50. Can you relate? Have you felt like life is just passing you by? I'd been given a book by Neil Donald Walsh, my very first mentor, and a sentence echoed in my head. Listen to your soul. Listen to your soul. Your feelings are the language of your soul. And I'm looking around my bedroom and out at the forest, and I'm searching and searching. And then this teeny tiny voice screamed, no, there's so much more, so much more. And in that moment, I felt an opening in my heart, in my chest, and up bubbled all these unlived dreams and desires, and they just flowed out all over my lap in the windowsill. And I'll tell you, contact with that inner voice propelled me on an intense, exciting, nonstop, continuing to this day, mind and expanding journey to break out of my shell and live an authentic, energized life. I got into psychotherapy, first as a patient, and then I ended up licensed to practice in Germany. I learned a multitude of disciplines to transform lives. And with the help of all my teachers, coaches, and mentors, I found inner peace, freedom, and joy. And so much energy was released and put into motion. I wound up on top of Kilimanjaro. And I'm not much of a sports person. Like helping a flower grow, I learned how to water and feed and protect myself so I could be the best me for others. And now I'm able to nurture gardens of flowers. And this is possible for you too. Wherever you are in your path, I'm going to give you some tools and understandings to help you bloom and blossom. I'm going to show you how you're powerful beyond your wildest imagination to change things just the way you want them, and how you don't need to be looking out there for the solutions, because so much is inside of you. You know, we've been taught that energy, which is what we're craving to do the things in life we want, is out there. The Consumer Market Outlook estimates we'll be spending upwards of $233 billion a year on energy drinks alone come 2025. And we know they're just expensive, quick fixes, which actually in the long run rob us of our energy. Totally not sustainable. So I'm here to offer free ways to revitalize yourself and to have health and inner peace in our extra years and radiant energy for yourself and those around you. And don't get me wrong, I'm not poo-pooing diet and exercise. They're crucially important. I'm here to offer other ways to have energy to do the things in your life you want to do. Sound good? Sounds good. We're blossoming. Woohoo, right on. Yes. So let's talk about what I believe to be 3 of the most important secrets to re-energize your life. 1, our beliefs about aging. the 12 inches between our, whoops, missed my ears, the 12 inches between our ears, how we're blocking source energy, and about energy hygiene, taking care of our personal space. My beliefs about aging. I had that aha moment sitting at a picnic table at a family reunion in Colorado. It was raining. My mom was trying to barbecue with a shower cap on her head. And my dad was there looking very dejected, with his hand on his head on his hands. And he was doing his rant again. Oh, us poor Robertson blood. We all have high cholesterol. We're all overweight. And we're going to get strokes and die of heart attacks in our 50s. And I'm listening to him. And it just did not ring true. And I didn't want to believe it. And boy, that talk at that picnic table just woke up my rebel energy. And I started researching and going to trainings and taking classes and being a foodie. I worked as a nutritional consultant for over 10 years in Germany. NLP opened new worlds, the neuro-linguistic programming, how the power of words and the mind create our behaviors and our reality. And then epigenetics was invented. I loved Bruce Lipton's The Biology of Belief, how our thoughts can change the expression of our genes. Boy, did I prove my dad wrong. I was not going to be a victim of my inheritance. And then Deepak Chopra, Ageless Body, Timeless Mind. He did this experiment. He went into an old person's clinic, took the vital signs of a busload of people and shipped them off to like a movie set where they lived for a week, listening to the music, eating the foods, wearing the clothes, reading the newspapers, everything of 30 years previous. And after that week, he bussed them back to the retirement home and took their vitals again. And they actually got biologically younger. I wonder if this is a reason why us baby boomers like to listen to our 60s music. Does it get us feeling younger? Actually growing younger? Is this your experience? Yes, biology of belief. We love it. So one of my missions here is to wake boomers up. Is there still rebel energy left in you? Let's take a moment and challenge and bust some of these beliefs about aging so we don't become victims of cultural norms. It's like we get in these cultural hypnoses of what it is to get old, and we just stop sitting down on the floor and getting up, and we stop going up on ladders. I remember my dad told me, it's not okay to have long hair after 50. Well, that was 20 years ago, Dad. I busted that belief. Or how many of them you're too old for, or act your age, you know. And wake up, excuse to listen. What are some of your beliefs about aging? Just close your eyes and check in for a minute. Maybe one that you haven't questioned yet. We expect forgetfulness, senior moment, right? We make jokes about it, but we just assume it's normal. And then I think we start to hypnotize each other, like who can have more senior moments, yeah? Learning tech is for the young. Afraid to be alone, have to slow down. Yep. Or how about the belief that interest in sex wanes? Check into retirement homes and you'll find out that sexually transmitted diseases are one of the #1 issues they're dealing with. They need the same sex education as teenagers. And while we're at it, How about the Encyclopedia of Common Diseases? There's over 1,000 pages, millions of words for illnesses, and very few for health. And we know how it is. We ask somebody, how are you? And we get the, oh, good, fine, I'm okay. So limited our vocabularies for great feeling states. We need pioneers like us to enlarge our vocabulary. How about I'm feeling vibrant, or I feel radiating, I'm love-filled, I feel heavenly, my favorite, peacefully energized. I want to talk about life metaphors. Life metaphors are so important. They're like a foundation for all our other beliefs. I'll give you a few examples. You've heard people say things like, life is like a roller coaster, or life is like a book. We close one chapter and we open the next, or life is like a play and I'm going to play different characters, or life is like a river going with the flow. A favorite one is life is like a school and we're given these challenges. I'm wondering if you know what your life metaphor is. I could go into this for hours and I could run you through eliciting your own. I got to tell you, there was this one guy, I used to go to these morning business networking things, and he'd be leaving the meeting and he would stiffen his body and salute and go to the front. And when I learned about life metaphors, I asked him one day, I said, what is it like when you go to work? And he pretty much described it as going to war. You know, he had to brace himself and people were going to, you know, beat him up and want things from him and complain. And so learning languages getting harder. Oh, we're still back there. Okay, yeah, I jumped pretty fast because I looked at the time and I just have so much stuff I want to share. Having ears for people's life metaphors. I don't have my ears again. Sorry, that's my antennas. The power of our words are creating our reality. So listen to other people. How are they constructing their reality by what they're saying? And a really important thing that I want to get into is how you're talking to your body. Do you use a love language with your body, or are you always criticizing it? Like my dad. Your body has huge ears and every cell is listening and taking what you say verbatim, like a command. And a lot of your words are making yourself sick and weak. Just think about some of them. I have the weight of the world on my shoulders. Or I felt stabbed in the back when he betrayed me. Or my stomach is tied in knots. Or it was hard to swallow. Yeah, criticizing your weight. Or my mom had a great one. She always was going to push the panic button, and then her blood pressure would go sky high, and she'd take extra pills, and then she'd crash. And I worked with her, and we were able to transform that inner button to a dial, and then eventually disconnect it all together, which was very helpful for her. Or what about catch a cold? I mean, literally, like we're going to put our hand out and catch the cold, right? When there's a bug going around, I put my hands behind my back. I am not interested in catching a cold. What are you telling your body to do? Maybe you got an aha right now, something you want to share. I love the idea of finding a judge my weight. Okay. Yeah, again, having the ears for what you're telling yourself and what other people are telling themselves. My dad, I love him. He was not a great teacher for what to do. He was a great teacher for what not to do. He believed he was a mechanical solid body, not spiritual at all. He rode his body like a man on horseback, abusing it, beating it to obey, and complaining when it didn't. He didn't have any connection between his mind and his body. And boy, did his body yell. I remember visiting once, and I went into his room in the middle of the night to turn the TV off, and he sits up in bed and he's like, "What? Turn that back on." And I go, "Well, it's noise. I'm trying to sleep." And he goes, "No, it's stopping the noise." He was using the TV to drown his inner voices. So rebel me learned new ways to establish mind-body connection, like doing a body scan daily, paying attention to minor disturbances before they get big, and thank the different parts of my body, my feet for carrying me through life, or my eyes for seeing a sunset, or for being able to take a deep breath. If you don't know about body scans, I'm happy to share at a later date. They're great to do in the morning or before you go to bed. It's prevention pure. Feel like something's coming on. Oh, I'm healthy, wealthy, and wise. That's a good one. That's a positive indoctrination. So I touched a little bit on the power of belief and our words, how much they influence our health and our bodies, and how important having an ongoing communication is. So my secret number one to you is maybe your beliefs about aging could be making you old before your time. Let that one sit for a minute with you. Maybe you're making yourself old before your time. Now I'm going to talk about how we're blocking source light energy. Oh. You are a powerful energy being. And let me share my understanding of what that means. Accept what rings true for you and leave what doesn't. I believe we're energy beings, spiritual beings having and using this physical experience. We have awareness in the mind and awareness in the heart. And I want to do a little demonstration to show you our natural energized state and how we mess it up and deprive ourselves of energy. I call it Dr. Light. You can find it on my YouTube channel along with other videos. Imagine this is your energy body. What we call like your aura, your personal state, your personal space. And the part of you that's visible is in the middle. And your energy field is radiating about 3 feet out in all directions. We're composed of light and water and energy, approximately 70% water and 100% energy. And we're translucent beings. We often think of ourselves as being dense and solid, but our energy field is reacting and taking shape according to our thoughts and words and actions. You begin your life with a clear field, unless you brought karma in. And then you start putting dirt in. You start accumulating baggage. Somebody hurts you. You get resentful. You don't express it. You get angry and you don't express that either. You get bitter. And this is including all the things that you fight about inside of yourself when you get guilty and regretful and you're blaming other people. These are all low life energies, low vibrating emotions. And what happens is your aura gets cloudy and the light can't penetrate. You literally go without light. And you know what happens when a flower is deprived of light? You're no different. We slow down, we get cranky, nervous, sick, and we carry around all this dirt. It's our baggage. And going without light causes chronic stress, illness, and it's physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually draining. What's really happening when you're doing this is when you're feeling hate and resentment, it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. I watched my mom hate her mother and sister her whole life. I watched her suffer with severe migraines anytime she thought of them. She was the one living in the toxic soup, not them. Light is pure love, and we block it. We cut ourselves off from love when we do this. Can you see how crucial it is to stop it and clean your personal space to let the light in? Pop your ahas in the chat. This is my favorite demonstration. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. What old trapped energies might you be living in? Can you think of a few things you're holding on to? And the thing is, every time we subconsciously think about that issue or that person, that happening, and we push it away, we're sending it energy. We're feeding those things we don't want to look at or feel. And a rule is, what you resist persists. Resistance makes it grow. And you might think that when the dust settles, and we even use that in our language, the dust settled, it's all good now. But when you get triggered, those old issues, they get reactivated, and you know what it feels like. Everything gets in your face again. And the older we get, the more energy we have to expend to keep those things at bay. And that's the main reason. I was already feeling old before 50. But I was taught no conflict, peace at all cost. And Walt Disney helped. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. That's from Bambi. So I learned to stuff my hurts and resentments, my truth, my yeses when I wanted to say no. And then I blamed other people and acted passive aggressively. Is this something you've experienced? You know how awful it is when you want to act lovingly, but instead you behave in ways you regret. So the good news is you and only you are the one who has the power to clean it up and transform the energy. I used to live like that. Oh yeah, the people pleasers, right? Can you imagine letting the sunlight in, listening to your heart, your intelligence, your intuition, and establishing communication between body, mind, heart, and soul? Well, you can learn how to increase your vibration for a vitalized, healthy life. I've helped hundreds of people along the way let the light in and re-energize their lives by releasing and transforming what they've been holding on to. It's why I'm here. And just so you know, it's not just energy we label as toxic emotions and painful experiences. We also hold on to positive emotions, emotions which literally haven't seen the light of day. I can't tell you how many people I've sat across from, listened to them recite their achievements, an awesome experience with kind of an emotional matter of factness, like they were talking about someone else. I remember this one young girl, Claudia, with long braids, and she's telling me how she won all these horse medals and was getting rave reviews from clients whose horses she managed. But she was so unemotional, and I could tell she had not yet felt these positive emotions. She had not let them into her being. She was missing out on tons of psychic food. Remember, energy is substance. You can guess what her homework was. Is this making sense? Let me look at the chat. Is this making sense? So much to reflect on. Yeah, it makes total sense. All right. There's so many methods and tools to let the energy flow again, but I don't have the time to share them now. Okay, so I've talked about you being a light being and how you can let the light flow again. And one thing you might want to do is when you wake up in the morning, stand in front of your mirror and just look at yourself and imagine that you are radiating these 3 feet around yourself. It's called the light body visualization. And hold that as you go through your day, that you are much bigger than your physical body. So my secret number 2 is to understand you are a powerful light being who has the power to let the light in again. Everybody, me too, take a little breath. I know it's a lot of stuff. I can't tell you how much I cut out of this talk because there just is so much I want to share. But I'm going to move into the power of energy hygiene. Learning about energy these past 20 years has enabled my biggest transformation. It's been like getting X-ray eyes again, because as a child, I could feel energies in a room and between people, but I was shut down by my parents, my teachers, my husbands for the first 50 years of my life. I was being crazy, living in a fantasy world, having a ridiculous imagination. And it wasn't until I surrounded myself with people who validated my senses that a whole new world opened up. My original world, the world I love to live in. And I think it's what makes me a great transformation coach today. When you understand the energy dynamics that are influencing your life, everything becomes exciting. It becomes magical. You feel empowered to improve almost any relationship or situation. Energy hygiene offers tools to clean and protect and charge and ground and balance your energy being. You had this experience. You're walking in the street, you see an acquaintance, they go, hi, well, this happened, that happened, my hip and my thing, and my mom died, and I'm having problems at work and all this, and then they go, hey, it was great talking to you, and they take off. And you're standing there and you don't feel like you felt before they showed up in your space, right? You've had this experience, right? Right? Yep. They dumped a lot of heavy energy on you. This energy is stuff, it's substance, it's not your imagination, it's real. And we're mindlessly throwing our energy around most of the time. Oh, I got dirt all over my laptop from putting it in the bottle. Anyway, here's a chance to feel your energy. You've probably done this before. I've done it 1,000 times and it never ceases to amaze me. Rub your hands really good. And then Hold them palm to palm, not touching, about an inch apart. And close your eyes and sense between your palms. You can move them a little bit out and a little bit in. And see if you don't feel some kind of tingling or resistance. You can try this again on your own. Who's feeling something? Pop it in the chat. Yes, yes. We call this radiant energy from our hands, and we all can do this. Like if we hit our elbow, we're holding it, we're literally sending energy in there to heal it. Or like if I would have a fever, my mom, when I was little, she would just pat my head like this, like a cat, and that was the best medicine in the world. Or I remember a time a bird had flown into the window and it was laying on the ground like dead, no movement, and I scooped it up in my hands, and my boys were there, and they were all so concerned, and we're all like praying for the bird and worried. And I think it was like 10 minutes, and this little head peeked out between my thumbs. And I'll never forget the expression on my kids' faces. I don't know if it was just stunned and not dead, but anyway, I took credit for bringing the bird back to life. You can use this awareness in your hands to dust your energy body daily. All the accumulation you get from people, like that person on the sidewalk, from noises, from machines, from the news. I say, dust your wings off daily. You charge your hands, and then you just start dusting wherever, around your feet, behind you. Try it and you will feel a difference. We're doing this cleaning intuitively. Like if we've had a really big mental challenge, we'll go like, like that was a hard one. And we're literally taking this dense mental energy and moving it out of our space. We're freeing ourselves. Isn't this great news? You can take care of daily stuff. Yay, I see somebody going yay in the audience there. You can take care of this daily stuff, not just by showering. That's good for the physical body, but this taking care of the energy body. And if you remember Dr. Light, there are cleaning tools you can learn to clean up old stuff too. Energy hygiene has so many tools and is a recipe for a long and healthy life. Energetic shower, right? Yeah, Tai Chi, right? All good stuff, all super stuff. So like I said, our aura is 3 feet around our body. We call it our personal space. And we're interconnected with other people and animals and things, and we're constantly exchanging emotions and energies, mostly unconsciously. And this is where boundaries come in. Boundaries will stop your energy drain so you can preserve your energy, which is like having more energy, right? And not having good boundaries is going to cost you. I know the difference because back in those days, I did not have a clue what a boundary was when I started this work. And you can do boundaries by using your hands and imagining where your borders are, making an energetic boundary. I can teach you all that in detail down the road. And we can use the same knowledge to protect yourself. try this experiment that has to do with things, not people, but things that are sucking your energy. Go through your house and make a list of the things that you need to fix. Newspapers to throw away, electrical appliances that aren't working anymore, things that need glued, you know what they are. Make a list and get them done. Pick a time on your calendar and get them done. Because some of those things, you walk by them for days and weeks and years sometimes. And every time you do, you're losing energy to them. Try it, you'll like it. So that's just a tip about things that are taking your energy. How about people? Ooh, hot topic. When people take your energy, I call it energy violations. Example of being tailgated, right? You get aggressive drivers behind you. They've got their aura around them, including the car, and they are invading your personal space, and you feel it. And the energies, I asked a teacher once, can it be that you lay in bed with your partner and the energy's only going one direction? And they're like, yeah. You may feel that with some of your acquaintances and friends, or the people that overpower you mentally with gaslighting. Or I learned a really important one. I used to get, and I still do, I get so excited with all these things that I'm learning and I want to share. And people used to like back away, and I was just not succeeding in communicating my excitement. And when I learned that I actually was going out of my space, out of my aura, smashing into theirs, overpowering them with excitement. So I've learned, and I have to still be conscious of it, to stay in my space, keep all that good stuff in my space. And so when I meet somebody, it's aura edge to aura edge, and then they stay there, and then I can communicate. And I gotta tell you that the front of our bodies are the most fragile and need protection, because, yes, great point. Thank you. We used to be on all fours, and so the ground was protecting us in front, all our energy centers. And now we're up here and we're just totally kind of at the mercy of whatever's coming at us. I had a client once, super description. He was a young guy, and he came to me. He was absolutely frustrated and exhausted. He just said, I cannot say no. I cannot say no. It doesn't matter who it is. And so I worked with him by approaching him straight on with whatever requests. And he was just a yes. He was a yes guy. And then I moved myself a little to the side of the front of his body and approached him with requests. And he started to think about maybe he could say no. And by the time I got around to kind of his back, no problem, he could say no. So because he learned that, he would just tilt his body a little bit like so when someone was wanting something from him, and he'd be able to stay in his consciousness and decide, do I want to, do I not, and give an honest answer. You get how understanding energy dynamics is important to your well-being? Are we getting how important this is? Standing too close. Yeah, you're violating people. We got to take inventory of our people and our places. I'm going to have to skip some of this stuff. Oh my. Oh, this is important. Positive energies. Are you letting them in? Are you maybe blocking compliments and positive feedback? Do you maybe reject them because maybe you don't feel worthy, or you were taught not to get a big head like me? So you make little excuses like, oh no, this dress, I got it at the secondhand store, or oh, I could have done better. It was no big deal. And when you do this, you're depriving yourself of high vibrational, energetic food, literally balls of positive energy. You can learn to let this good stuff in. And that also is for another time. So we talked about cleaning and protecting yourself. And I want to do so much. I want to offer you the Earth, Heart, Heaven, Star alignment meditation really, really quickly here. So one last time, close your eyes. And take a deep breath. Shake it out. Feel the seat that you're sitting on supporting you. Feel your feet on the ground. And then imagine that at the base of your spine, you send a cord down into the earth, way deep down in the earth, to your Earth star. And you can breathe up and down a few times before the bottom of your spine and down there where your Earth star is. And feel the connection, feel the groundedness. Literally plant that cord into the ground. And then take a deep breath and go all the way up to the bottom of your spine, and then all the way up through your spine and out the top of your head, up into the sky, and find your heaven star. And breathe up to your heaven star. It's up there. And then breathe slowly back down to the top of your head. And come into your heart, where your heart star is. And in your heart, remember somebody that you love. Remember being loved. Feeling gratitude for this person. Feeling gratitude for this space. For something that you're grateful for. The music, the foods, the images, the places, the breezes, all these wonderful things, our friends and animals. And breathe all that good stuff in. And be aware at the same time that you're connected to your Earth star and to your heaven star, that you're perfectly aligned. And you can bring to mind the light body energy that you're radiating 3 feet around your body. And then come back. How do you feel? This is your best defense. No unwanted energies can enter your space when you're literally full of yourself, which used to have a bad connotation, right? Not here. I do this often during the day. It just takes a second to connect and breathe and think and amplify positive thoughts. So I'm going to conclude here with my, well, it's in German, it's my Anliegen, my request. What energy are you bringing into the rooms of your life? Into your kitchen, your office, your place of fun. I like to think of it as dancing, right? You got two people that are dancing in sync, and it only takes one to step out, and then the dance has lost its harmony, and the dance has to change. It only takes one to shift things. So don't wait for others. Choose your rooms and the energy you want to bring into your rooms. You're doing it anyway. So do it intentionally and create those experiences, those dances you want to have with others. Be in charge. Shift your energy higher, and it'll shift the energy of others higher. Be the creator you are. Take your love energy out into the world and make a difference. My secret number 3 is the power in you can move mountains. So, okay, I did it. I hope you got something out of spending this hour with me. What's your biggest takeaway? Great information. Thank you. Gentle and insightful, peacefully energized. Yay. Thanks, guys. Yeah, pay attention to your energy. Yeah, what you're exuding is affecting everything. So real quick here, if you came here to re-energize your life and feel more alive, I've given you a taste of how these understandings and tools can do exactly that. And like I said, I came out of retirement to be of service because I can't stand to see my fellow boomers needlessly suffering. So if you're interested in learning more, my invitation is to leave the expensive quick fixes behind, and I'll guide you in doing the work. I'll help you question your thinking. I'll help you see with new eyes, and I'll help you shine a light on what's in your heart. Trust me, every relationship can improve, even those crunchy, energy draining relationships. Can you imagine how magical you can become when you intentionally enter the rooms of your life? Like my client Ushi, who was struggling with a very critical boss, very combative. She loved her job running the kitchen in a handicapped school, but was on the verge of quitting when she came to me. And I worked with her. She realized what kind of energy she was bringing to her job. And when she shifted her energy, her boss became putty in her hands. And I think she's still happily working there to this day. You must admit this is exciting. Yes? My initial offer to you is a complimentary one-on-one session called the Re-Energize Me. So go to my calendar at lifesolutions.coach/calendly/. It's posted in the chat, and sign up for one of the limited half-hour sessions I'm offering. I look forward to sitting down with you one-on-one, hearing your story, supporting you, and seeing if it's a fit to work together. I'm committed to helping you discover what's standing in the way of you having the energy to do the things in life you want to do. I'd love to hear from you, so get on my mailing list for future trainings and mind-expanding experiences. We only touch the surface here of the tools and understandings I can offer, and I'm excited to share. What an enormous pleasure spending this hour with you. And now I'll take time to answer any questions that came up. For those of you who'd like to stay a little longer. The power of the energetic aura, that's for sure. More cleaning and clearing my rooms. Yes. Awesome. Awesome. I love all this feedback. I love technology. That's one of the reasons I wanted to do this, is to have a reason to use all this technology. And not just be a user, but be a contributor. Like back to life metaphors. My life metaphor is life as a buffet. And I used to go and just sample everybody's offerings. And then I realized that, like, wow, I need to put something on the buffet for those who have that same life metaphor, right? My own offering. So here it is. Thank you, Birgit. Thank you. So my tech genies, how can we do question and answer? Okay, the sign up, my calendar's there. Thank you. Very good.
If you have a question, there are two ways to ask it. You can type it into the chat, or if you go down to the bottom of your screen where it says reactions, you can put up your virtual hand if there's anything you'd like to talk to Mita about.
Thank you, Rainbow. And then you would come up here on the stage where you're next to me. Well, I must have answered everybody's questions that they possibly had.
Okay, I have a question. I am intrigued by the idea of the life metaphor.
Mm-hmm.
And is there a way I can get more clear about it, that you can sort of guide me to get more clear about what that is?
Yes, there's a series of eliciting questions that narrow into what it is, and you will know when you hit it.
Oh, I see. So that's part of what you do with your clients. You help guide them to being clear on that.
Right. If I've picked up that maybe their life metaphor is not too supportive for what they want to do in life, then when that's brought to the light, then they can go, huh, maybe I better make some changes here. Okay. Oh yeah, I had some friends here from Germany. They're going to bed now. That's right. Okay, well, if there's no questions, then I have done my bit, and I will see many of you for the next webinar.